Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Paul Pogba, the Manchester United dilemma. I think it's very easy for us to say, should we buy Pogba? Do we want Kroos? Do we want a player back? But the key thing to this deal, whether you want him or not, and I want him, if it's possible, I would want Pogba at Manchester United. He's one of the best up-and-coming midfielders in world football, and I think he'd eat the Premier League for breakfast. I think he is that good, and I think, it amazes me that it's great to have these choices. It's great that Manchester United fans are making these choices, but yes, we've got Mourinho, and the impacts are huge very quickly, but let's not get too arrogant, and we should be arrogant, but let's not forget where we're not in the Champions League. We've been poor for 2 years. If we can get someone like Pogba, sod the money, we take Pogba. But the Pogba dilemma is interesting, and I think there's a couple of things here that people may have considered, but one, Manchester United dilemma really. Sir Alex Ferguson, still very much part of the board, still a massive part of the club. Why would the club, or would the club want to put that sort of embarrassment onto Sir Alex Ferguson that will spend £100 million on a player that Sir Alex Ferguson let go for free? I personally would just think, if I was Sir Alex, I'd just go, circumstances, this is what football's a funny game, that's the way it is. But would the club be willing to do that to him? I'd hope that they would. Not that it's in a disrespectful way, it's just that let's not bite our nose off to spite our face. We made a mistake, let's accept that mistake, get him back to the club and let him be impactful. But then you flip it to the other side, Pogba. Is Pogba going to want to come back? Would he want to come back to Manchester United? Is it perceived to be a step back to that? It's that old situation, isn't it? It didn't work out with a girl or boy, so you go back. Would you go back to that relationship? They say you should never go back. But then the flip side to that is that I want to go back and prove myself. And also the Premier League, I don't care what anybody says, Barcelona, Real Madrid lovers or whatever, you are just the Scottish Premier League in the sun. It's not a competitive league, it's easy. Barcelona, Real Madrid, you play 3 or 4 games a season. Yes, you get Champions League football, but in the Premier League, it's got the money, it's got the status, it's the most competitive league in the world, and why would you not want to go and be a part of that? And the money is a big draw. Also, if he's got a love for Manchester United, which a lot of people think, he's got that unfinished business thing inside him that a lot of people do have, then it could happen. But I think it's a dilemma. People say he's the missing piece of the jigsaw. I think in light of the recent signings, a midfielder of that quality would take us again up to another level that people like Zlatan already have. Another level. I don't think we should be expecting to win the Premier League because we were so far off it the last 2 years under Van Gaal. However, I do think we will challenge for it. I think Mourinho has done such good business and he's such a good manager, we could win the league. I don't think any of us should expect to do that, no matter who comes through the door, because it's a massive thing to go from where we are to winning the league. But I think we can do, and I think signings like Pogba would make that happen. I think with and you should never say this, but I think with the signings we've made and the manager we've got, we've more or less guaranteed top 4. Big bold statement? I don't think so. I think that's what Mourinho brings anyway, and I think the signings we've made will secure that. So you bring Pogba into that occasion, and you start to think, well, we should be winning the league. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. I really do not know. Raiola, his agent, has brought 2 very good players to Manchester United in Mkhitaryan and Zlatan. Why would he not want to bring Pogba there as well? It's more money for him. Let's not forget that football is about money. He's going to get more money out of Manchester United getting Pogba there than he is going to Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG. So that is an incentive. However, if he's got that unfinished business in him and he wants to come for a challenge in the Premier League and he's young enough to do that, let's not forget he's 23 coming up for 24 I believe, not till next year. So yeah, why not come here? People have even said he might come here for 3 or 4 years and then go to Real Madrid in his late 20s. Well, would you be opposed to that? Personally, I don't really like it, but a lot can happen in 3 to 4 years. You could be the captain of Manchester United in 3 years and think, I want to stay here for the rest of my career. He started here as a young lad, he knows the club inside out, and he's got friends within the club, and he may just have that unfinished business in him. But we must consider the Paul Pogba factor in this. It's him who's got to make the decision. And if we hadn't had that background and that fallout with him and not used him correctly as a young player, then I think he would probably be seriously thinking that Manchester United is the best option because it's the best financial package, it's the best league competitively, and he can improve his game week on, week out. Because going to Real Madrid, playing in a non-competitive league, and over half their fixtures aren't competitive, and playing in the Premier League where it's competitive every week, you are going to develop as a player. And I think people forget that. He's still a young player, and he can go and develop week on week, and the Premier League is the best place for him. So I think it's there to be done, but there are 2 big factors in this. One, are the club wary of embarrassing Sir Alex Ferguson, who's still part of the club? paying £100 million for somebody they had for free? And 2, is Pogba willing to go back to a club that basically messed him around a bit? I think it can happen, but I think it's worth considering. Get commenting below, and I do think, above everything, that we shouldn't be arrogant about this. Yeah, Toni Kroos is an option, and if side by side you'd rather have Kroos, that's fine. But I think if we end up with him or Pogba, we should be absolutely excited, because we're only getting these people because of Mourinho, and you look where we were a couple of months ago. It's exciting times for Manchester United. Get commenting below and give us your thoughts on the Pogba dilemma.